Hello from Valley Forge, Pennsylvania. I'm at Mind Body Spirit Expo. It's cold out here. I'm glad I'm in a room that is cozy and warm and it has windows. I was in a room the night before that didn't have windows. So anyway, I want to help you have some deeper understanding about relationships, about soulmate connections, about relationships that have ended badly, that there has been some type of misunderstanding, that a relationship from the past that feels unresolved, that even though maybe it's been years since you've connected with that person, still troubles you, impacts you, affects you in some way today. So here's what's going to be really helpful. A lot of the time, and people do this unconsciously, it's just the way that everyone has been conditioned, is look someone up and down, judge them by what they're wearing, the color of their hair, the color of their skin, whether in a relationship or not in a relationship, their accent, whether they talk very proper or very cockney, the way they hold their fork. Something I find quite interesting is that in England, where if you hold a fork, if you hold it pointing upwards like this to eat, that's considered a no-no. You're meant to hold your fork down like this, with the fork pointing down. That's the proper way to eat. And what I learned from my husband is that it's the exact reverse between the UK and the US, that we have all these misunderstandings. Now, that's a simple misunderstanding over a fork. And then there's a whole level, other level of misunderstandings that happen in our communications, in the things that are said, and then in the things that aren't said. What if, instead of just looking at someone at that surface level and all the judgments going off in one's head, making a soul connection, looking into the person's eyes. Now, this doesn't have to be just in a romantic relationship. This can be in any type of relationship. And I don't mean like look into their eyes, but I'm talking about authentic, real connection. Look into their eyes, be real, and see the person. To be able to see a person, really their true nature, the key is that you have to allow yourself to be seen. And that takes vulnerability to do that. I mean, people talk about wanting to find love, have success and ultimate happiness. But one of the key things to be able to do that is to get vulnerable in here. So the next time that you meet someone, instead of jumping to conclusions, going through all the stuff in your head, catch yourself. Notice if you start to look someone up and down. They're wearing this, they're not wearing that. They look well put together, they don't look well put together. Move past that. See if you can stop your head, stop the judgment, look at the person, be present with them, soul to soul, so that you don't miss the opportunities or the deeper understanding of a connection that you're meant to have in that moment with a person. The other really important thing about doing that on a soul level is that if there is some type of red flag, something that indicates that you're not meant to enter into a relationship or a business transaction with that person, that you will be alert to those red flags. Your intuition will be working fully because you will be able to see it's not a good fit to connect with this person. Doesn't mean the person's bad. It just means that you're meant to go in a different direction. And the other thing is, the final thing I'll leave you with is, when you look at a person, you don't have to have years of psychic, spiritual, intuitive experience. What you would just do is just open up the stream of consciousness, and as you connect with the person in front of you, just look at them, take them in, don't stare them down. It's just sort of like a soft gaze and go, is this person a young soul, an old soul? Is this an old soul who is still asleep? Or is this an old soul who is starting to wake up at a deeper level? And then connect in for yourself and ask yourself the same question. Am I a young soul? Am I an old soul? Who am I? And it could come through as a feeling. It could come through as a voice in your head. It sounds like your own voice, but it sounds wiser, more self-assured. Or it may not come right away, but that's okay. You just keep asking the question. Good time to do that is right before you go to sleep, which is what I'm about to go and do right now. So, yeah, curious to hear your thoughts, your experiences around the type of soul that you think you are, and if any awareness comes from this around understanding relationships where you actually have had a deeper soulmate connection with someone. All right, good night.